All right, welcome to our feature match for week 4. This is the first feature match, so we have Caleb, who I'm looking at it from his point of view, playing against Jacob, who just finished what appeared to be an hour-long grueling match to start off the week. So took a look at Caleb's deck right before we started here, and he's been running a Mardu base, but really 5-color control deck, basically playing all of his rares. I think he said except for 1 or 2. So just going for maximum power level with his cards, and you can see in his hand he has just a smattering of powerful things to do here with the Broker's Ascendancy, the Soul of Emancipation, and a Shambling Ghast and an Ominous Parcel to try and get going and not get run over. So he's considering which land. He's probably considering which land it is he's wanting to go get, and he's settling on a plains. Plays the parcel, which means that next turn he can, if he doesn't draw a land, he'll get his third land guaranteed. So it will be a little bit before he'll be able to cast those 3-color cards he has in his hand. But as long as he's in a stable state when he is able to cast them, they will be very effective. So Riveteer's Requisition on the other side here, a 3/1. When it dies, it makes a treasure, so that'll be hitting in for at least the next turn, but the Shambling Ghast can get in front of it here, which can also make a treasure, so we'll see if they want to trade off creatures for a treasure each. Jacob's taking a read at the Shambling Ghast since it's not part of our main set here. It was opened through one of our reward packs that we have for every 4 wins. Players get to open a pack, a random pack from any set that's on Arena. So Shambling Ghast might not be familiar to everyone playing in this league. Yeah, Jacob's deciding what he wants to do with his turn, deciding if he wants to trade here to get a treasure for each player, and what he can add to the board. So, looking at the coming turns for Caleb, he does need to draw into some lands here. He'll have a Murder and an Illuminator Virtuoso as cards he could cast, but will need to draw into other types of mana here, green and blue sources, in order to cast everything.
I am back.
All right.
And for Jacob's side, looks like we're considering a crew captain.
That's the 4/2 with haste.
Yes.
Okay.
And indestructible the turn it comes in turn. Looks like we're not going with that.
So he's gone against it. Maybe he's planning on casting a 4-drop here with the treasure he's going to get.
Quite possibly. That could get him Jaxus. Or
Okay.
he's just pumping.
So he's decided
Apparently.
to keep his Requisitioner alive. He could have traded off for a treasure there and played a 4-drop, I suppose. But
Yeah.
maybe he sees Caleb is hopefully he's stumbling. Maybe he's not got all of his colors. Maybe he can just keep getting in for 3 here. But the Corpse Appraiser is gonna stop that right away.
I was
So
going to say, stumbling on colors.
Yeah.
I see 3 and treasure across. I don't think.
Yeah, he's getting there. So the Corpse Appraiser here did its job, which was to find a land. So he now has his green source.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So if he draws an untapped land, he could go Exhibition Magician into Broker's Ascendancy if he chooses to. So here comes the crew captain now.
Ooh, that'd be scary.
On turn 4. So Caleb's just going to take it here. He's not going to give Jacob a treasure. He sees that it looks like Jacob is not hitting his lands. So he doesn't want to give him that treasure here. He'd rather take 3 for this turn and then trade off potentially with this Corrupt Court official he just drew or the Exhibition Magician, which I suspect one of those will be the cards he casts. Yeah, the Corrupt Court official here is guaranteed to hit a spell, so probably worth playing here since it's clear that Jakub only has spells in hand. So it is hitting a real card.
Well, I mean, we do have a bomb and hostile takeover, so if we get to mana, we might be okay. I'm guessing we're ditching a combat trick here, or maybe murder, because we can't cast murder yet.
Yeah, and I mean, both of the creatures on Caleb's side already got a card's worth of value, so murdering either of those isn't really ideal. Well, we'll see what he decides to drop here. It's interesting that Caleb went for this play instead of maybe the more obvious play, which was the Exhibition Magician. But here he does get to play his Illuminator Virtuoso, also the 1/1 double strike. So he does get to commit 2 creatures here rather than just 1. And unless something major happens, it looks like there won't be much attacking going on. I suppose Jakub might offer his 4/2 for the 3/3, but I can't see the 3/1 attacking into this board. All right, so a Jewel Thief here gives him at least a treasure, so at least they'll have access to 4 mana next turn. Any interesting 4 mana plays in Jakub's hand over there?
If you can still hear me, we have Jaxus.
Yep. Hear you loud and clear.
My headset quasi broke, so the part with the microphone is dangling, but it still works. It works.
Well, we got you. So Caleb now officially has all his colors online, so he can start really pressing his advantage here with a Broker's Ascendancy next turn, and just really dominate the board.
Yeah, we don't have an answer to Broker's Ascendancy. However, we do. Well, I mean, Hostile Takeover will stop that for a hot minute. Which we drew a land, so we can cast. I don't know if we're going to go for it this turn.
Yeah, so if he does it this turn, he gets to keep presumably his Crew Captain or Jewel Thief, whichever one he thinks is more valuable, and gets to wipe out everything else. But most of the creatures on Caleb's side aren't really that great. Like, there's a bunch of X ones and then a 3/3 that drew a card. Like,
yeah,
killing off those. I mean, yes, it's still good, but
yeah, I feel like it might be when the Ascendancy comes down, he realizes he needs to clear it. Yeah, it looks like he's going with Jaxus to start. Oh, no, thinking.
Yeah, so interesting spot here. If he doesn't do it this turn, he'll certainly do it once the Broker's Ascendancy hits the board.
Yeah, we're now hovering the Hostile Takeover.
Right,
and then we put that back.
It looks like a good play here, wiping out a bunch of creatures on opponent's side, and he will get a treasure as well if he casts it.
Yeah. So he could also get a little greedy and hope that the opponent does like another Exhibition Magician or something similar, but I don't
know. Yeah. So the cards left in Caleb's hand here we could see are Murder, the Broker's Ascendancy, and then the Soul of Emancipation, the big 7-drop that can turn things into angels. So it'll be a little bit before that comes into play, but the other two are sure to be played in the next few turns. Jewel Thief is coming in, offering up for the Corpse Appraiser here.
The one card we have that I don't exactly remember is we've got the, I think it's Red Mythic Dragon. Sorry, the quality's a little low, so it keeps Inferno of the Star.
Oh, it was a big. Oh, that's a big 6/6 for 6 flying from.
I remember it being pretty balmy.
I believe it has flying haste, and it also has fire breathing.
Is that it? I thought it.
I think if its power gets to 20 by you fire breathing, it can deal 20 damage to something. But
oh, that was it.
It's a 6/6 for 6 flying haste, which is just already very
pretty
good. And then it has fire breathing on top of that. So if you have any leftover red mana, it can just make it do more than 6. So here comes the Broker's Ascendancy, which is sure to prompt a hostile takeover here, since otherwise it's completely unmanageable.
Looks like we held up Murder, but I doubt we're going to use it this turn.
No, not if he's going to cast hostile takeover.
Yeah. Oh, we drew Titan of Industry. That could very much be helpful.
So Jakub's got some real big heavy hitters coming down the pipe here. Big Dragon and the Titan of Industry. So once he gets his board clear, he just has to draw his lands, and looks like, the game could be swinging very heavily in his favor, because he's guaranteed to be able to play a 6-drop next turn if he hostile takeovers and gets his treasure from the Requisitioner dying. And that thing does have.
Well, no, he can't do a 6-drop. We're using our treasure for this.
Oh, he'll need to draw another land here. This gets in for 4, so.
Yeah.
So Caleb's drawn a Psychic Pickpocket, which he will definitely play here. I suppose if he wanted, he could bounce the treasure.
Treasure. Yeah, I don't hate that, honestly, given how. Letting your opponent replay their Jewel Thief isn't.
Yeah, it means he doesn't get attacked by the Jewel Thief here. But I don't think he cares about getting attacked by it this turn. In 2 turns, the Psychic Pickpocket's going to be bigger than the Jewel Thief anyway, from the Ascendancy.
If you discard spell here, it's...
Yeah, he's not going to discard a Murder or Soul of Emancipation, so he'll just discard the land that he drew off of the Pickpocket.
Looks like he did reset Jewel Thief.
Okay, you value not getting hit for a turn. Also, it means that the Jewel Thief cannot attack past the Pickpocket, since it'll be a 5/4 by Jakub's next turn. It just guarantees he's not going to get attacked here. Which, when your life total is at 10 and you have a big 7-drop in hand, your best move is to make sure you can't get attacked profitably.
That is fair.
So Jakub, I'm sure, is weighing his options here based on the limited amount of mana he has access to.
Looks like we might be deploying Jaxus here. Oh, now we're looking at the Jewel Thief again.
Yeah, I think if he has 6 and 7 drops in hand, it just has to be the Jewel Thief, right?
Well, if you get Jaxus down, then next turn you can go Jewel Thief, clone Jewel Thief.
Suppose, but the Broker's Ascendancy is sort of something that threatens to close the game out quickly if Jakub doesn't make impactful plays. True,
but the next turn after that, you would then be guaranteed Inferno of Star Mounts, cloning Inferno of Star Mounts.
Well, it's a legend, right?
Doesn't it make a non-legendary, or is that not on this one? That's on other ones. A lot of clones nowadays make things non-legendary.
Okay. Well,
no, it stays legendary. Never mind on that.
Well, Caleb's just. I think he drew a big score for turn, but I think this Jaxus is potentially worthy of a Murder. We'll see if he decides that is the case. He might be disappointed when the 6/6 flying comes down, but the Soul of Emancipation can downgrade the 6/6 flyer into a 3/3 if need be.
Yeah, that would require getting some more lands, which we still haven't yet to find. We did find a Raffined Silencer, so we could loot into something.
Yeah, Silencer. It's a little low impact here, based on how many turns we are into the game, but when you gotta dig for answers or dig for ways to win the game, it'll do.
Either that or we could just murder the Pickpocket. I guess we could go Jewel Thief into Murder, which isn't horrible.
Yeah, using both the treasures here is a bit rough. He might just take the 5 this turn.
Yeah,
and then set up...
Especially since Inferno's a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, so now he can set up for a 6 or 7 drop next turn. So interesting draw from Caleb is the Delina Wild Mage, which was the rare from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. That we actually did see, he did cast that a couple weeks ago in the feature match as well.
And that one makes non-legendary versions.
Yes, that one, because it could target itself, essentially. If you have no other creatures, I believe it can target itself to make extra copies. So it looks like he is discarding that here to the big score. The big score sets him up for the Soul of Emancipation, because the Soul of Emancipation can target the treasures and turn the treasures into 3/3s. So he's drawn 2 lands here. which is perfect because he can just cast the Soul of Emancipation using just lands, and then turn the treasures into 3/3 angels. So I figure we're going to see the dragon here, or potentially the Titan if he's got his if he has an untapped land.
Did not get a land.
Because the Titan that destroys one of the options is to destroy an artifact or enchantment, or is that the cleanup crew?
I believe it is an option on the Titan.
Okay, because that would get rid of the broker's ascendancy.
Yes. It looks like we're gonna murder? We don't want to spend our treasures yet? We drew Glittermonger for turn, so that doesn't really seem like the go here.
That's not getting it done.
Maybe
here, but
Glittermonger is the play.
I mean, Caleb has basically shown he doesn't want to attack yet. He doesn't feel confident enough to start attacking yet. So playing a Glittermonger seems totally fine. Like Caleb's not pressuring him now, but is about to be pressuring him with this Soul of Emancipation that's going to come and add a whole whopping amount of power to the board here.
Yeah.
So if he wipes out 2 treasures, he gets 2 angels, which instantly become 3/3s or 4/4. So he's wiping out his pickpocket, just upgrading the pickpocket into a flying angel here, and now has 18 power out of nowhere.
Yeah, and our 6/6 haste flyer is not gonna do much on that score.
Yeah, the 6/6 needed to come down a couple turns ago to really be a threat.
Yeah, I mean, we could get the Titan down now, but actually, I guess the Titan holds it back because it's got reach.
Yeah, the Titan has reach, so the Titan can.
So we can blow up the broker.
Yeah, come down and then put a shield counter.
Rhino or gain some life.
Or put a shield counter.
Yeah.
Just to be to make sure he doesn't insta die to a removal. Because he's definitely.
Although shield counter makes him less of an effective blocker because you don't want to waste the shield counter just eating an angel.
Well, when you're at 10, you don't have much of a choice.
True.
So let's see what he chooses as the second option. I assume the broker's ascendancy is going to get hit here, and then really any of the other options are viable. I don't think a 4/4 is really going to be impactful on this board right now. The problem is the angels. So he might choose a shield counter. He might just choose to gain 5 life so that he has a bit of a life padding his life here.
Yeah.
All right, so
looks like that's what he went with.
Yeah, he has gone for life gain, so that means that a removal doesn't instantly kill him, but it's still not looking super great for him. Because now he's well, I guess if he draws an untapped land, he could play his dragon, the Glittermonger. So Fiend's Informant here is going to almost certainly get rid of a land.
Did you still have a murder in hand you were talking about, or no?
No, he used the murder on the Jaxus.
Oh, right. So we still have a murder.
Okay, so he's dropped the Corrupt Court Official here, which means he's just going to cast Big Score and discard his land. So he's valued that Raffine's Informant is a little bigger and can tussle with the Jewel Thief. Okay, so now Caleb's drawn his own Hostile Takeover, which looks like it's going to win the game very, very quickly, based on the fact that his angels won't die to it.
Yeah.
So Caleb actually has 2 Hostile Takeover. His pool is quite strong, as is indicated by his current standing and record. So yeah, this Hostile Takeover is going to be just that, very hostile. So he can make sure that all of his things survive.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to murder the big boy.
Okay, so the biggest creature in play is off the board here.
But I think we just straight up lose to Hostile Takeover.
Yeah, so Hostile Takeover is gonna
just lethal.
It's gonna kill the Titan of Industry, it's gonna kill the Jewel Thief, and it's gonna leave Caleb with 4 attackers here.
Oh, right, the Glittermonger survives, I guess.
Yeah, so the Glittermonger's
straight lethal this turn.
Yeah, the Glittermonger's going to have to get in the way here. Caleb does have a murder behind. I suppose he'll probably want to use that just to, yeah.
Oh, if he's got murder, it's lethal. Then.
Yeah, he just drew a murder this turn, so his last couple draws have been quite helpful here in closing this game. So
still haven't found the fifth land over here. So,
yeah, the mana troubles. The mana troubles did him in. I think if he could have deployed his big heavy hitters earlier, he could have been putting a lot more pressure on Caleb.
Oh yeah,
because Caleb was
especially if he had just gotten in one hit with the high flying haste.
Yeah, because Caleb was just
4.
He was spinning his wheels for a few turns there. The pickpocket did a lot of work in making sure that he stayed alive. Got big with the ascendancy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking at Caleb's deck, he basically explained to us earlier that his deck is basically, he's playing his most powerful cards, and then he's playing things that keep him alive to that point, and things that fix to make sure he can cast all of his spells properly. So his deck is very focused on just being able to cast all of his powerful rares, of which he has many.
Yeah. It reminds me of my Strixhaven deck.
Oh yeah, just once you get to the middle game, you just start deploying heavy hitters like every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking at some sideboarding options here, looking like he was considering a swooping protector, which was the 4-mana 2/1 flying shield counter, but doesn't appear to be that interested in it. He's bringing in a vampire spawn, which is that 2/3 that gains 2 life and makes opponent lose 2 life when it comes in. Maybe just as a hedge against some of the more aggressive starts his opponent can have.
Looks like we went back and forth, but ended up not changing a thing.
Alright. Yeah, so Caleb is almost assuredly going to keep his hand. He has the best turn 3 play in the format, which is obviously Inspiring Overseer, as everyone knows. Best turn 3 play in the format, so he's on track to be able to do everything he needs to do. What's going on?
I think we were thinking about it, but we have 2 lands and we kept it. We do have all 3 colors of mana because we got a swamp, but...
Okay, so he needs to draw...
We don't find... Oh! We found a 3rd land.
Okay.
So that's nice. We could start off a little aggro with Mayhem Patrol. Yeah, looks like we're doing that.
Yeah, Mayhem Patrol is going to get in for quite a few turns here. So Caleb is holding Inspiring Overseer and Murder, one of his 2 copies of Mysterious Limousine, and 4 lands. So that Mayhem Patrol is going to be able to get in for, potentially 4 or 6 damage before Caleb's in any position to block it.
Well, we drew a Grittergoons, which will be nice. Other than that, we've got Glittermonger, a Warm Welcome, Jaxus, and Murder.
So, just going to cast a Warm Welcome here, I suppose, then?
Well, tap land, so we're not doing anything.
So he's, this would have been a turn. Yeah. This would have been a really good turn to deploy something impactful, since Caleb didn't do anything the first couple turns.
Well, that's what I was saying. We could have had the aggressive start by playing the untapped land that turn, or we could have had a 3-drop here, but our 3-drop is Warm Welcome anyway, so this is probably better.
Yeah, the Mayhem Patrol seems... If you can only do one of Mayhem Patrol on turn 2 or Warm Welcome on turn 3, I think you always choose to do the Mayhem Patrol.
Yeah.
Alright, so, like we said, Inspiring Overseer, just when your opponent casts on turn 3, you're just like, this feels unfair. It's just like, why is this card so good for a common?
We have drawn a Body Dropper.
But not a land card, unfortunately.
Not a land, no.
Right. So Caleb's draw for this past turn, or what he drew with the Overseer, was an Exhibition Magician, which is going to just stand in front of Body Dropper and Mayhem Patrol.
Well, does he have a red source?
Yeah, he has a mountain. He has a mountain in his hand.
Okay.
So, this Exhibition Magician is going to be a pain. So, Jacob has chosen then not to play the body dropper and leave out murder, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what creature Caleb is going to play on turn 4 that is worthy of a murder. It's worthy to murder rather than to just deploy a 2/2. So
All
Caleb's
these gain
decided.
lands and stuff.
Yeah, so Caleb has decided not to cast his Exhibition Magician this turn, just getting his Forest. He did have the Untapped
I
Mountain.
guess we're also leaving a warm welcome.
Okay, so Caleb has left up his Murder. So.
Ooh, our only choice is Inferno of Star Mounts.
Well, now he does see it coming, so Caleb does.
Oh, it
have
also
the
can't be
murder.
countered. That's the other text it had.
Oh, sure.
I thought it had more text.
That comes up only when you have no idea about it.
Yeah, it's not very relevant.
Yeah.
We drew a Corrupt Court Official, which, some to do on 3 mana, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I figured the Body Dropper would just be more effective than a
Probably.
Court Official here. So
there he is.
Caleb was priced into using his Murder here because he decided to leave it up instead of playing one of his creatures that he could have last turn. So now he can play both his Exhibition Magician and his Rafine's Informant here, and just get a bunch of bodies to stop getting attacked by these little creatures.
Oh, looks like he's just going to keep deploying tap lands.
Yeah, and he drew a Shambling Ghast there, so after Rafine's Informant.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, the Skybridge Towers gives him access to double white because he has a Mysterious Limousine in hand. But I figure he might want to save his Limousine for if that flyer ever comes down.
We drew Swamp, so we've got our another black source.
So I imagine well, I don't know all of the cards in his hand, but if he said he has a Girder Goons, his best play is to probably blitz that in to cycle it.
It might just be Glittermonger to try and.
Oh, right. If he has Glittermonger. Yeah, if he has Glittermonger, that's going to be.
Or Jaxus.
Better choice. I think Glittermonger is quite a lot better than Jaxus in this spot.
Probably. But getting Jaxus online and just being able to, like, start cloning things can get real nice.
So he's going to attack here. Caleb's not going to block.
Looks like Glittermonger.
Yeah, he's gone for the Glittermonger. It's the safer play. It means that he just is guaranteed to be able to cast his spells in a timely fashion.
It also holds back the ground attacks on the backswing.
Yeah, I just don't see Caleb attacking much right now, aside from with the flyer.
Yeah. I mean, if not the Glittermonger, it's a pretty racy situation if it just trades for one of those.
Yeah. Caleb's drawn a big score for the turn to go along with his Exhibition Magician, his Mysterious Limousine, and an Island. So he's deciding what to do here. He could big score. He could play the Exhibition. Probably big score lets him. Casting big score first lets him do both.
So we get a land next turn with the Glittermonger. We can just drop the Inferno in, which.
So it looks like he's going to limo away the Glittermonger.
Mm-hmm.
And so then if the 6/6 does ever come down, he can swap it out later.
See, at that point, I'm not sure why you wouldn't do it pre-combat.
Well, I think he'd just rather block here.
Well, he didn't block last turn with the same blocks.
Well, now he can
control token.
Well, now he has the option of crewing the 4/4 with the Rafine's Informant. Now that he has a 4/4.
Nuts. We drew a Glamorous Outlaw, which
that is not that helpful here.
No, I was going to say it fixes for blue, but I haven't seen another blue card, so maybe it just fixes for itself.
Yeah, it might
Looks like we're gonna.
Well, did you say he had Hostile Takeover as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had the Hostile
just
Takeover.
in hand. I was just looking in hand, so it
doesn't save. So he does have Hostile Takeover in his deck. So he is deciding this turn to blitz in the
Blitz
Guru
out those goons.
rather than play the Jaxus. He just gets to find more lands here. Not sure what his land count is. Maybe he's running a little lower than usual. Not sure. I haven't seen the deck. But it is unfortunate that he's been stuck both these games and not been able to deploy things in a timely fashion. So if he attacks,
what's the crew cost on the limo?
It's crew 2, so...
so just requires the informant. So
yeah, so he could crew with the informant, then he could double block the Mayhem Patrol, and then the 1/1 Citizen will also die, because the Shambling Ghast will die.
Well, it depends on how we order blockers. He could save the Citizen.
No, he's
not going to save the Citizen.
No. The Citizen is a casualty
Got
here.
Breathed on, I guess?
Suppose. Alright.
Ooh, we got the land. It's a tap land.
Caleb's going to cast his big score here. See if he can draw something very impactful, one of his rares perhaps. So he just has a bunch of small creatures in his hand. Exhibition Magician, Corrupt Court Official, Illuminator Virtuoso. So he can pick and choose which ones of those he wants to cast this turn. He can cast 2 of them. So in comes the Magician. And then Crew. So he's going to get an attack for 8 here and put Jakub very much on the ropes for next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the same last game, right? We were getting down to the end. Jakub had many cards in hand, of which he could only deploy 1 a turn, whereas Caleb has been consistently casting 2 spells a turn for the past few turns, including some card draw spells.
Yeah. Hitting all your land drops really does that. We drew a Riveteer's Requisition or the Treasure Blitzer, but I don't think that's...
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to get him out of this that he can cast readily. He's not dead this coming turn, but...
no, and we can get that last card, which I assume we will.
Yeah, last card is a Corrupt Court Official on Caleb's side as well, so the Corrupt Court Official can expose
the other court official.
Well, I think he's more exposing him as corrupt.
Look at him, not me.
Yeah. Alright, so he set up himself to at least block in such a way that he does not die here. Caleb has drawn potentially the worst possible card he could be drawing right now, other than the land, which is a Gold Hound. Not what he wants to see on at this point in the game, but he could use that along with the Citizen to crew the limo.
I mean, when your opponent's at 7,
he could also just sack one of his lands and see what he draws.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb is himself at 8, so he does need to attack in a way that ensures that he doesn't randomly get killed by some number of blitz or haste creatures in the coming turns. But I'm sure he's aware of what could be happening next turn if Jakub gets a red or any untapped land.
Any land, yeah, or untapped, yeah.
Yeah, because the Inferno of the Star Mounts, if it comes back to Caleb's turn, will end up under the limousine, but it could also attack for 6, which is not what Caleb wants here. So
yeah,
he's deciding if he wants to. I assume he's deciding if he wants to sack one of his lands to see if he can find something better than a Gold Hound to cast.
It has to be a 2-drop, right?
Yep.
So this guy left.
Yeah, but when the alternative is casting Goldhound and doing nothing else, probably a
Well,
bit
casting
better to sack
Gullhound
the
and
land.
attacking,
Yep.
because I'm pretty sure you force every single creature to block if you attack with everything.
Well, he's down to. So Jacob is down to 5 for sure from the flyer. He then has to block the limousine and then has to block 2 of the effective 2 power creatures. So he did sack his land here only to find a plains.
Well, he still gets to deploy the Goldhound.
Yep. That's the upside of this, is that he had a cheap play regardless, even if it wasn't super impactful. At least he could cast it after sacking the land. So not too sure what he's thinking about. He's kind of the rest of the turn is a bit kind of played out for him here. I guess he's just deciding on how many creatures to attack with to make sure he doesn't randomly die next turn.
I don't see a way to kill him next turn anyway.
Yeah. So again, not. I think Caleb's just doing some math here about attacking. So he's just gonna go the safe route here. He's just gonna say, I'm gonna get in with my guaranteed damage, leave everything else back. He has seen blitz creatures. He does see the haste dragon right there in opponent's hand. So he says, I suspect opponent can deal damage out of nowhere. The River Tears is the color that does that. So he's just going to play it safe here. Let's see if
We drew
Jacob
Zeotar's Envoy, which
Okay.
isn't gonna do much to this board.
So that's a 5/4 that can either be cast for 4 or blitzed for 5.
5. And when it hits, you get to cast 3 spells, but...
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get to look at the top card and cast it, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looks like Caleb is giving Jacob some time here by not pressuring him with a set of attacks last turn.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Jacob decides to do with his turn here.
I mean, I guess we could just hope you're gonna do the same thing and pass with Murder up and clear out that flyer, but then I'm sure attacks start being different.
So he does have a murder then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like we are bringing down Zeotar's Envoy, though. Oh, no, never mind. We just wanted to look at the difference between its cost and its blitz cost.
Okay.
We're looking at them again.
Okay, so he's just casting it rather than blitzing it, just putting a 5/4 down.
Yep.
Okay. So he's decided to take another hit here. So, funnily enough, so Caleb has 2 lands in hand, a plains and a mounted, so he actually cannot, unless he sacks the Goldhound, he needs the Goldhound to sack his other land, because the Skybridge Tower was his other blue source. But as the Goldhound isn't doing too much, he might just cash it in to try and draw something else. So again, he's taking his time here. He's considering all his options. Probably thinking about attacks, what he can or what he can't attack with. Last turn he settled on just the flyer. I don't think anything has happened that will make him change that.
Last turn I think I might have attacked more this turn.
Yeah, now with a 5/4 in play.
Flyer. Yeah.
Would be pretty imprudent to attack with any of the other creatures he has.
I mean, you could put it in the limo, but then you're just trading the limo for the Requisitioner and something else.
Yeah, but then the limo, the thing is he doesn't want to give him the Glittermonger back.
That's true, too.
Because Glittermonger guarantees that the dragon can come down, and dragon is very bad news for Caleb, potentially. With
well, we drew another Requisitioner. Yeah, I'm not sure why I feel like we should have attacked with our Requisitioner just to be like, please block this. Give me my treasure.
Yeah, because Caleb is not really at a life total to be comfortably taking 3 when he has, many blocks. He has 2 first strike creatures in play.
And even if you're just leaving the 6/6 dragon back on defense, if they're attacked with the limo, you get to trade off his limo and get your dragon back.
So let's see how Jacob decides to proceed with his turn here.
Looks like we're looking at murder.
Yeah,
phase
I
murder.
mean, it is unfortunate that he didn't get to hit all of his lands in both the games, but at least it does mean that the turns have a lot of choices. Like Caleb's turns right now are pretty, as far as what to cast, it's just whatever he draws, and
yeah.
So at least here we do get to see some decision making here of how he wants to use his mana when he can't deploy everything he wants to. But he did get to cast 2 spells this turn, which is helpful.
Let's see.
So he's decided not to attack.
Yeah.
Caleb is almost assuredly going to sack his land here, even if that means losing the Gold Hound. He decided against it.
Goldhound does a good job of keeping some things back.
So Caleb drew a very interesting card, a rare from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which is the Takenuma Abandoned Mire, which he's going to mill 3 and return a creature or planeswalker, which looks to be the Inspiring Overseer.
That's a pretty good creature to bring back.
And he milled, I believe it was a Corrupt Court Official and 2 lands, which are cards that he wasn't too interested in drawing. So it was helpful in multiple regards.
I feel like the only thing that'll save us at this point is a hostile takeover. Well, I guess a land for the angel gives a lot, but so much card advantage happening. We drew the land.
Yeah, Caleb now has a big score, which he can dump his planes and see 2 new cards next turn. Yeah, Caleb has, I believe, 3 copies of big score, which just let him. It lets him go through his deck quickly and get the treasures that he needs to cast his 5 colors worth of stuff. So it's really the perfect draw spell for him because of all of his color requirements.
Yeah. And no one's got disdainful strokes to make it go away right now.
All right, so.
Well, here comes the dragon.
The dragon has arrived.
So we have 2 red sources, which we can bring to 8 power, which means all we need is 12 treasures.
That's it?
I'm wondering if it's time for this envoy to just trade for things.
Yeah, we'll see if
because I feel like you'd want to put all 5 toughness in front of it to prevent that card being drawn.
Right.
Which would require 5 creatures.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to put 5 creatures in front of 1. That is a good way to make sure you lose the game.
Exactly, which means that it's probably getting in for the card.
Yeah, I suppose.
And if you're putting in
the envoy
4, I guess you're maybe doing the Informant and the Magician.
Yeah.
To trade, and you take 3. That puts you at 6, which is dragon range. So that's kind of scary too.
Yeah, both players have to tread carefully here. Basically, every decision here is, going to potentially impact the outcome of the game. Every little decision here, what to attack.
The Glamorous Outlaws being able to deal 2 from hand is also.
Yeah, though because he does not have a blue source, Caleb will see it coming, so he will be able to factor that into his decisions. It's a lot more devastating when that just surprises you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's especially.
Well, if we got a treasure, we don't have to give it away.
Yeah, and he's especially not expecting it out of Jakub, who is a Riveteers deck, base Riveteers, and only believe has the 1 other blue card. So it's not even in his. If you're playing against a Maestro's opponent, you probably in the back of your mind, you have Glamorous Outlaw on the radar as a possibility of something that could come down late in the game. But It's not on. I can't imagine it's on Caleb's radar at all here.
I don't believe Zeotori's Envoy is.
So Caleb discarded his unlicensed hearse rather than his planes.
Interesting.
Which is an interesting choice here.
Maybe he thinks Hearst isn't going to have enough time to get big. I don't know why.
But
planes.
Yeah, so he's trying to broker's ascendancy here, which is gonna put Jakub in a pretty rough position because now all these little creatures are gonna start being, almost every creature is gonna be a potential lethal threat here.
Zeotori's Envoy is not going to be as happy with attacker.
Yeah, so
I was going to say is next turn we could have gone Jaxus, or Blitz Jaxus, clone Zeotori's Envoy, which would have been 10 trampling damage, which is kind of scary, but not as scary.
Yeah, so now like all these lowly creatures are now potential lethal threats. Okay, so it looks like he is gonna attack with his limousine here. Or no, he's gonna make the limousine bigger. Okay, that makes sense. Attacking with the limousine doesn't make any sense because it could just...
Oh, we drew Exhibition Magician, which can get us the treasure for Glamorous Outlaw?
Okay, so that's something that Caleb, again, like I said, unlikely to be factoring into his math is having a creature that can deal 2 damage when it comes in the colors that his opponent's playing. So now Jakub has 6 creatures, and he can potentially be getting attacked by 6 creatures, so he'll have to block everything. But I don't think Caleb's
in a hurry. With Broker's Ascendancy, I feel like we've got to attack.
Yeah, Caleb's not in a hurry to attack here. He can just sit back as long as his life total is...
I wonder what cloning Zeotori's Envoy and full attacking does. I don't know if it's forces enough chumps to bring down the board.
It definitely creates at least a lot of thought on Caleb's side as to how to proceed.
Because that's 10 trampling damage, then 2 3/1s, and a 6/6 flyer. So
yeah. Just of note, Caleb does have 4 power of first strike in play.
True. So he could eat one of them.
Yeah, so that would make that exact play a lot less desirable because one of them just gets...
Well, no, because if you're using both those creatures to kill off one of them, then the other one is like getting in for 5.
Yeah.
Or are you putting the other 2 creatures in front of it, in which case you're basically taking lethal with the rest?
We'll see how Jakub decides to go about this here, if he decides to try this play. But it would cost him... It would make him use every card in his hand, right?
No, not quite.
Well, you'd have to play Jaxus. Oh, okay.
And then he'd still have 1.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like we're doing that.
So what are his other cards here?
The Exhibition Magician and the Glamorous Outlaw.
Okay, so the Exhibition Magician,
is what he's looking at right now.
All right. The Exhibition Magician just puts bodies on the board, which is good to make sure he doesn't die. But
looks like we might just be regular Jaxus.
Now that the Inspiring Overseer is 3 power, an attack with the Limousine could potentially just be lethal here, taking the 6/6 off the board. That's the problem.
That's why I think we need to bash this turn and make you chump with that Angel. But I don't think there's...
Yeah, but Caleb is probably unlikely to do that into open mana. Just throw his Limousine out there, potentially to get killed. Okay, so he is gonna do some...
Oh, looks like we are blitzing this.
So he is gonna do some blitzing here. So blitzing the Jaxus and then essentially making a blitz copy of one of his creatures. So he is gonna put the pressure on here.
We're going to put that Magician in play first and use the treasure? Or are we just going for the clone? Because Magician will give you a chumper next turn.
Yeah, the Magician just gives him more bodies to stand in front of all the other creatures.
Just one, because he'd have to use the treasure if he's going to play. He only has one red. Oh, don't do it! No! Oh God, he's cloning the legendary.
Oh. Yeah, there's a few cards nowadays that.
Oh, wait, he said "oops" and then discarded it. What is the point of the "oops"? Did he think he "oops" didn't? What?
Now he kept the one that's going away at the end of turn.
Yeah. Okay. Did you from my side? He said "oops" and then selected a card to discard when he still could have hit cancel.
Yeah, no, that was unfortunate there. Yeah, making
Why
a copy of a legendary. Yeah, that card is not obviously. It doesn't sound like a legendary based on its name, but it definitely is. All right, so he has just thrown in with everything here.
Yeah. So imagine this attack with another 5/4 trampler.
So Caleb just has to block
to
not die here, and then the game looks to be otherwise over.
Yeah.
I mean, there is the Zeotora's Envoy that could cast something off the top of the deck.
Hilariously, if one damage will make the difference, we can exile the Glamorous Outlaws and use it to fire breathe.
Oh, yeah, that is true. We'll see if he spots that.
I doubt. Well, I mean, I doubt that'll be relevant, but
yeah. So he's making sure he's soaking up all of the damage from the Zeotora's Envoy to not give Jakub even a chance at another card here. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the mana troubles got him behind, and the little error there was unfortunate, but it looked like Caleb was gonna wrap that game up within a couple turns either way.
That's a tough way to go.
So that's our feature match for round one, and we'll be back with the second round in a bit.